A quick disclaimer first, I am a single sex worker, so I cannot speak for all sex workers, but these are some of the grievances that I have heard from my friends and some of the grievances that I have experienced myself. Hello everyone! So, I'm a sex worker. Shocking, I know. But it is true. I love this career, and if I didn't have staggering student loan debt, I would probably only do this career. However, my love of sex work is for another time. Today, I'm going to be talking about how to talk to sex workers. Some of my subscribers and even folks on Twitter have been great to talk to. You know, you get your, wow, you're so hot, or your, oh, wow, I love your content, and you're an inspiration to me, or anything kind of like that. And then you get some not too ideal messages. So I'll be telling you some of the do's and don'ts of interacting with sex workers so you don't end up like some of the non-ideal messages, and you keep the sex workers you like not wanting to block you. This is by no means an exhaustive list, and if you are a sex worker yourself or interact with them successfully often, put your tip down there in the comments. But regardless, I hope this list gets y'all thinking. So without further ado, let's get into it. Tip number 1, do talk to sex workers. If I had to hazard a guess, I'd say probably about 20% of my JustForFans subscribers talk to me. Maybe a little bit more, maybe a third, but that's not 100%. Of course, this isn't a perk for all sex workers, but for me, on my JustForFans page, I do like having one-on-one interaction with my fans, because, hey, if I can get into your mind and get to know why you subscribe to me, like, do you like my kink content more? Do you like my more vanilla content more? Do you like group content? Do you like solo content? Like, what are you looking for when you come to me? If I know those things, both you and I will have a much easier time, like, having content that we're both happy about. And there's something I like, is creating content that we all like, and not just content that I like, or just content that you like. So the more often you all talk to me, the better and better the content creator subscriber relationship will be. And I think we both want that, right? Right? Maybe. I don't know. I want that. I think it would be cool. So, like, we should probably do it. Like, probably. Number 2, don't send nudes unprompted. Now, I bet you're wondering, Max, this is your job. You do the sex. You do all of the sex. You fuck your DTF all the time. On demand. That's how it works. That's just how the JustForFans works. You must not know, sweaty. Get good. But just because someone's sexual, like me, a sex worker, doesn't mean they want to be sexual with you. This doubly applies to my followers on Twitter or Instagram or wherever. If you haven't even paid me $1, I definitely don't want to see your dick. But now I suppose you're thinking, but Max, I see you flirting with people in your Twitter comments, and like I see your dick plastered over everywhere. Why can't, and I plaster my dick on my Twitter, so like, you know, I'm not consenting. Like, actually, yes, you are consenting to see my content when you click the follow button. If I did not click the follow button on you, I typically won't flirt blah blah blah. I won't flirt back with you, or I even just like your little comment. You know, even sometimes with my mutuals, I just like their comments because I don't know how they respond. All tea, no shade to my mutuals who I do this to sometimes. I just, I don't always know what to say to. Wow, you have such a bodacious ass. Like, the next 50 comments say that. I'm sorry. Now, I'm sure there are some sex workers out there that are like, no, I love receiving unsolicited dick pics. I have, like, one of those posts that are pinned, and it says, send me your unsolicited dick pics. Unsolicited dick pics are the best. And if you are that person, that's cool. Like, I'm not saying, like, you can't do that or whatever, but I'm just saying, just ask. Just ask. If maybe they do like receiving unsolicited dick pics, or maybe they don't. You never know. Just be like, hey, can I send you a dick pic? And you didn't create an awkward situation. Then everything's fine. But if they don't follow you and they didn't know you and you didn't ask, or if they said no, or if they said not yes, then you shouldn't be dropping your dick pics there. Only yes means yes. Number 3, continuing on with this, always ask for consent. And no, I don't just mean for nudes, but anything. If you're asking something that's uncomfortable or like may potentially be triggering or something for that particular sex worker, maybe ask, hey, do you want to talk about XYZ before talking to them about it? Honestly, this should be a practice that you just do in your regular life, but I am expressing it here to you because, you know, when it's 3 a.m. and I'm just checking my Twitter to make sure that Twitter didn't shadow ban me or whatever, or accidentally lock my account, or any of the other things that happen bad on twitter.com. I don't always want to see someone's really like paragraph long message about how they have an impregnation kink and they think it would be so cool like if I could just make free content for them. That's their kink. Like, not kink shaming, but just don't ask for free content. And we'll talk about that later. And by later, I mean now. Number 4, don't assume that you're owed free content. You're probably not. Additionally, don't assume that you're owed the sex worker's time. People get busy. I'm often busy. I've just started a new job, whereas I would probably spend about 8 hours like editing videos and on Twitter and answering messages on JustForFans and all that other stuff that kind of encompasses my work as a sex worker. Now that's kind of spread out in between, like sometimes while I'm on my lunch, I do that type of stuff, or when I go on little breaks during the day, I'll do that sort of stuff, or you know, whenever I can really find time to fit into my schedule. Right now, this is just artificial light. It's not night, but it's definitely not as lit as it is in the video. In the video makes it seem, yeah. But all that being said, I still try to answer within 24 hours. It was a lot more reliable in the before times, but now it may be a little bit longer. But regardless, just because I don't reply immediately doesn't mean that I don't like you or that I'm mad at you or that I hate you. This applies to broadly your entire life. There are many people who will not be able to answer on a drop of a dime, for whatever reason. Like they just be busy or they could be at work or whatever. So just be patient with sex workers. Be patient with everyone in your life. And you'll probably be a little bit happier. Additionally, another thing that's really prevalent in this community is that people think they are owed free content. Especially, in even some cases, people may try to become friends with you for free content. Now, if your friend was a jeweler, would you expect free diamonds? If your friend was a chef at like a really fancy restaurant downtown, you know he makes like really bomb lobster, do you think you're gonna get all your lobster for free? No. So why would you think that a sex worker, someone who is not an hourly worker, like the other two may be, or even salaried, like the other two are probably, why would you think that they would be like, oh yeah, you know what, rent's due, but here, have the keys to the house, all for free. Honestly, it really just shows a lack of respect for the line of work, and I'm not gonna say all, but I'm pretty sure that most sex workers think you're disgusting for even trying to broach that subject. Like, how dare you? Number 5, do tip your sex workers. Now, this is a little self-serving, but it doesn't have to be just me. It can be any of your favorites. Tips make a sex worker's day. Legitimately. If you tip a sex worker, typically, when you tip your sex workers, they just pour that money back right into their work. Or, even just sustaining them. Like, I need rent or groceries. Or I want to get a better camera or better lighting or a better microphone. I didn't get a better light and a better microphone until I had already made enough money to buy those two things. And then I got a nicer tripod, and now we're here. My gear isn't perfect, but hey, it helps. I'm also gonna throw out an honorable mention that was not on the original list that I had written, but I thought about it while making this video. I love my subscribers. They're really great, awesome people that help me pay my bills, my rent. I really like talking to the ones that, talk to me. Typically, they're all generally really great. But sometimes certain subscribers think that just because you pay the subscription fee, you get everything? And that's just not how it works. I do take custom content requests, as I have talked about in the past. I believe on this, I've certainly written about it. I don't know if whatever. But I take custom content requests. Just because you've subscribed does not mean you get free custom content. Just gonna throw that out there. If you tip me, that's a tip. Unless stated otherwise, unless maybe JustForFans custom content thing had a problem and you said, oh, I just paid you through tip because it was easier, but I actually wanted a custom video, that's cool. But if you tip me with the intentions of it being a gift, don't come back and be like, can I get some custom content with that, baby? I'm like, but it was a gift. Like, someone did that to me on my birthday. And thankfully, because I started a new job, I did not feel obligated to give them that content just because they gave me a tip. Just be aware of these things. But that's just an aside. I thought I would just throw that in there because a lot of people think that you pay $10 and you get the whole sex worker action figure toy, and you have Kung Fu grip and all of those other things that we know and love from toys from the 90s and early 2000s, like Bio Slime and shit. But you get what it says on the tin. Don't try to get more out of a person who's generally not always doing very well financially. It's kind of shitty. But with that, that's the end of the video. As I said at the beginning of the video, if you interact with sex workers often, or if you are a sex worker yourself, please feel free to put down in the comments how you like to be interacted with. Otherwise, if you're over the age of 18, you can follow me at PuppoMax on Instagram and Twitter. And if you're feeling generous, you can tip me on Venmo or Cash App at PuppoMax. If you're feeling very generous, you can subscribe at JustFor.fans/PuppoMax. Thanks everyone, and have a good afternoon, or whatever time it is where you are.